has the burden of proof in unfair labor practice cases? The union. It is the union that has the burden of proof to present substantial evidence to support its allegations of unfair labor practices committed by the employer. It is further explained in the case of Schering Employees Labor Union v. Schering Plow Corp. 2005. In this case, petitioner Lucia P. Serenio was employed as a professional medical until she became a field sales training manager. However, when she was elected president of Schering Employees Labor Union CELU and started the renegotiation with respondent Schering Plow Corporation on the collective bargaining agreement CBA, respondents suddenly became dissatisfied with her sales performance. Respondent company then sent her a notice asking her to submit an explanation why she failed to implement marketing projects. After that, she was required to comment on the complaint, charging her with misappropriation of company funds, falsification, and tampering of company records, and submission of false reports. This prompted petitioner CELU to file with the National Conciliation and Mediation Board (NCM) a notice of strike on the grounds of unfair labor practice and union busting, but the notice of strike was dismissed by the NCM. Subsequently, respondents sent petitioner Serenio a memorandum terminating her services for loss of trust and confidence. The issue for our determination is whether petitioner Serenio was illegally dismissed from employment. No, the court sustained the findings of the NERC that she was found guilty of misappropriation of company funds by falsifying food receipts and that she falsified company call cards by altering the dates of her actual visits to physicians. These infractions show that she is dishonest. Clearly, she breached the trust reposed in her by respondents. Hence, her dismissal from the service is in order. Under Article 282 of the Labor Code as amended, fraud or willful breach by the employee of trust reposed in him by his employer or duly authorized representative is a ground for terminating an employment. Petitioner's accusation of union busting is bereft of any proof. In TUV, NERC, the court held, it is the union, therefore, who had the burden of proof to present substantial evidence to support its allegations of unfair labor practices committed by management. In the case at bar, the facts and the evidence did not establish even at least a rational basis why the union would wield a strike based on alleged unfair labor practices it did not even bother to substantiate during the conciliation proceedings. It is not enough that the union believed that the employer committed acts of unfair labor practice when the circumstances clearly negate even a prima facie showing to warrant such a belief. So, did the company committed unfair labor practice? Yes, the company never entertained issues as to the majority representation of the association. The company employed dilatory tactics doubtless to discredit the union before the eyes of its own members and prospective members as an effective bargaining agent, postpone eventual recognition of the association, and frustrate its efforts towards securing favorable action on its economic demands. It is likewise not disputed that on March 4, 1965, the company issued its Statement of Policy. At that time, the association was seeking recognition as bargaining agent and has presented economic demands for the improvement of the terms and conditions of employment of supervisors. The Statement of Policy conveyed in unequivocal terms to all employees the following message: we sincerely believe that good employee relations can be maintained and essential employee needs fulfilled through sound management, administration without the necessity of employee organization and representations. We respect an employee's right to present his grievances regardless of whether or not he is represented by a labor organization. An employee reading the foregoing would at once gain impression that there was no need to join the association, for he is free to present his grievances, regardless of whether or not he is represented by a labor organization. In addition, the company again committed unfair labor practice after the strike by cutting off of telephone facilities, extended association members in the refinery, and using of a member of the association to spy for the company. The discriminatory acts practiced by the company against active unionists after the strike furnish further evidence that company committed unfair labor practices as charged. Also, the discrimination consisted in the companies preferring non-members of the association in promotions to higher positions and humiliating active unionists by either promoting junior supervisors over them or by reduction of their authority compared to that assigned to them before the strike, or otherwise downgrading their positions.
From the case, we can infer that there was unfair labor practice since the company did not follow the labor code and gave the union the freedom to unite as a bargaining unit, with the statement of policy from the company stating that they respect an employee's right to present his grievances, regardless of whether or not he is represented by a labor organization. It shall be read in favor of labor and thus allow the union to be recognized. It is well settled in Article 4 of the Labor Code, Art. 4, Construction in favor of labor. All doubts in the implementation and interpretation of the provisions of this code, including its implementing rules and regulations, shall be resolved in favor of labor. Therefore, the company shall recognize the cries of the employees to make their own bargaining unit.